Hello, good afternoon, targeted individual. My name is Grace, Grace Udoh-Williams. I'm one of the targeted individual here in London. Today's video is just going to be a quick one. It's not going to be very lengthy as usual. Um, I'm just updating you into the attack I'm still experiencing. It seems the attack has gone into from very bad to very, very severe. Since last Thursday was probably um, one of the worst day of the attack, especially to my head and to my face. It was a non-stop attack in terms of I felt the drone probably were involved and the helicopter definitely. I know they also involved in my torture and also from neighbors. You know, it was non-stop attack on my head and on my head, on my face, and also on my eyelids. The other ones are part of my body, but that is just continuous one. But this one was a different scale that they opted it, kind of heighten the severeness of it was very bad before that. Initially I used to be able to take kind of put some cold compress on my head sometimes. If I'm not videoing, I would tie something on my head and put pressure on the spot that is painful. It seems the part of my head is now inflamed, and I'm sure they could see it, and they continue to aim at that part and aim on some side of my face, which I think I have actually probably got some fiber optic deposition or whatever it is that they're using implanting people. But I know certainly there are quite a few on my head, and that part of my head feels bumpy and a kind of very sore. And they continue. It was relentless. Relentless. They did not relent throughout the day. It got to a point that my eyes, if you can see, I can take off my glasses. You can see my eyes are red again. Last night I didn't have no sleep. You can see that this part of my face is now swollen. You can see that there, if you can see, there are all these things I never had before. You know, I am a matured woman, but I mean, when you're matured, you don't have all these people. You can see some of the marks there, and you can see this rigid. I never had them before. These are bumps on my head that I never had before, and this part of my head too is swollen up to here. Um, and sometimes it comes in huge things like a kind of a blister. Then the blister, after a few days, it will disappear. Then it will come, the blister will come out here, and after a few days, it will disappear. So this part, the severeness was last Thursday. I have it's been so bad, but it was one of the worst day of since this attack started last year, and then on that part of my brain. So it is bumpy, it is swollen. I try to protect it as much as I can. Before, it's the case that when I use a kind of, I took the experience from the internet, from YouTube, said you should put some ice, water, empty bottle, put in the freezer and get some ice and put it there. And I did that. They were actually attacking me through that. It seems the attack now was coming in from the implant into the head. It was coming in from inside the head itself. The pain was coming in. Apart from the one they were dumping on my head, it was also coming. I think they activate the implants, and the heat from the implant was also playing and havoc on my health. And I had to basically start taking paracetamol and ibuprofen. It's just to be able to go by. And that's what you could say. This is, I haven't had this before. This is a different swelling on that part of the, they target this part here, but it's not as bad as on this part. You can actually see the marks here, the marks. So it goes there like that and like that and like that too, you know, like that. So this is what I've been experiencing. Maybe they're trying to make me blind. I don't know. You can see my eye that they're red. Again, non-stop continuous attack on my head. Now I have bought this hat, which I did research on the internet. I bought this from Amazon. It's meant to reduce the frequency, but I'm not sure if it's doing the job. But I just wanted something that was a little bit more decent, because what I was using was at home, I'll tie scarf. I'll put some of this cap that you buy in £1 shop, in the African the hair shop, and I just put it there. And sometimes I put the tin foil, but the tin foil has got to a point that when I put on my tin foil, I actually hit from inside, and you could see the the scarness on the tin foil. So I thought it was not doing me any good. Let me buy um the proper head the skull cover. I'm not sure if it's doing its job. Maybe it has. When I first started it, maybe for the first one maybe a few minutes, or 1 or 2 or 3 4 5 minutes, I did feel, okay. I felt a little bit of peace and calmness in my head, but it seems to me that they've ranked it, and I'm sure they're following what I'm buying on Amazon, and so they know what I'm buying, and probably they've got some to test the strength of it. So it seems they have actually opted the strength of what they're using to attack me. And also I think that some of it is also coming up from from above me, in terms of the attic. It seems to be a direct energy from the attic that homes in on my head. No matter where I go, this goes with me, homes in. And sometimes it seems like a very focused energy that is just trying to scar my brain. That's what it feels. Apart from the homing in, then it seems it's trying to scar my brain. And when I feel that part of my brain, I can see it's swollen and some rigid. I also buy this one just to see it helps, because one of the ladies said that it did help her. But it seems even with the two of them, sometimes the attack is so much that I will actually go and put a tin foil on my head just to try to help with the attack. So excuse me, this is what I've been experiencing in the last over a week now. The attack has really intensified, and they're aiming all over the body, but they're aiming on the head. I don't know, you guys, if you notice this thing just coming in. I don't know what it is on my screen. I could see it directing from the lights there straight into my home. That's what it feels like. Like there's this energy, focused energy on my head, on that part of my head, and then it seems that they're trying to scar it, and the scarring also is painful. It's very a level of discomfort. Then there is also when it comes in, I believe, from the satellite, that feels like a pin. I would just sit down, then I'll just feel this sharp pain. So like somebody dropping a pin on a scar wound that was already painful. So somebody dropping a pin, or a needle, a pin, or a small nail. So that's how it feels like on that part of the head. They keep targeting, and I think what they're trying to do, apart from the microwave that they're doing, no matter where I turn my head, it goes with me. So they're trying to give me a brain cancer, or trying to make me have brain hemorrhage, that bleeding in the head, and developing stroke. I think it's either one of them, or both. So that's right. So they are actually homing in on my head, and it's 24/7. Before, when I put pressure on it, sometimes they let go. Sometimes I may not have the intensity for about a day or two, but since last week, Thursday, it's just been the worst. And I've seen it seems some of my next door neighbor, they have moved out. I don't know if that's true. I'm not tracking them, but I'm seeing new people, and it also seems that they're doing shift work. And I've also seen a young woman there too. So it seems maybe when they change to new people, then when those people come, they want to show that they are worse, or they're bad, or trying to impress the other one. So but that is my experience now. So you can see that my eyelid is swollen, and there's this rigid that I don't know. You just started. You can see it's been there for about more than a month, but then it just get worse. You can see that, and also you can see there's a mark here on my head coming from there, and some of these dots which I never had dot before. And it's not because of what you can see. I don't have dots. I mean, I do kind of put some powder on my face to make my skin a little bit even, but there's not a lot of spots in there, and that's what I've been experiencing. And having said that, the other thing I want to document is that I do buy a lot. I'm not sure. I won't say they are part of it, but I'm thinking: is there somebody in Amazon that is trying to sabotage me in one way or the other? I've bought things. This is not the first time. The first time I noticed is that I bought some earphone, a noise reducing earphone, because of the charming in my ears, so that if I want to sleep or listen to music, it could reduce the noise. But I noticed that was tampered with in terms of the box was open in a way or something. Somebody did something to it, but I wasn't sure. So I didn't, in hindsight, I should have returned it, but I didn't. I just kept it there. Then I just didn't want to use it. I tried to give it away, or I've thrown it in the bin, because I felt if it's not suitable for me, I don't think I should give it to somebody else. So I hadn't used it. It wasn't the most expensive, but it wasn't cheap either. I hadn't used it. And then there's another time that I've ordered something, and they said to, according to them, it will arrive the next day, and that's why I order. I don't like the lengthy ordering, taking time, because I feel the longer it takes, then the more time they probably intercept the parcel, and then kind of manipulate it. So that when it came in about 2-3 days later than what I was told that it would come, I had to send it back, and that's what I said to them, that it came in too late and I don't want it. And what I've just noticed that in my last video, I did document these people that I saw that just zoomed away, flashlights on my face, and zoomed away about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, when I was coming back from shopping, and they zoomed into Devonshire Drive. Now, I've just received a parcel yesterday. I did open it, so I opened it this morning. And what I've just found, I'm gonna just hide the name. It came in within my parcel from Amazon. I've just documented to them that I mean, what they're doing is risky, because somebody can put somebody else who you don't know what they're ordering and send it to my home. So I've just received this parcel yesterday from the order. This is it. This is it. And I've just received, again, because I did the documentation, that this car zoomed into Devonshire Road and stopped. Then from stopping, then he zoomed, because they thought I was coming after them. I would never have no time to go after. I just wanted to know the name of the street, and that's why I went just to check the name of the street. So I've just noticed that somebody else just sent. I don't know if this might be a genuine mistake, but it's never happened before. I've been shopping with Amazon for a while now, but this was included in my luggage, in my order that I ordered. Some things in terms of, I've not been sleeping. I'm a nurse by profession. If you work as a nurse, especially in the hospital, then you have your body get accustomed to not sleeping a lot because of the nature of the work. So I think if not for my job, the kind of built-in experience from the job, I won't be able to function now, because I have almost 2-3 hours of sleep every day since last year. So I don't think about it. I don't try to let it bother me. Now and again, if I sit down, if I nod off, I just nod off, and that's it. When I can, I just nod off. But I've not had a good sleep, and I've moved from my bedroom into the front room, into the chair, and I noticed that even within the chair, I've been having like a deep heat. When I sit down on the chair, I could feel like an oven heat on my tummy. It seems they're also targeting my vital organs, in terms of my stomach, in terms of try to probably target the inner organs. And also when I sit down, I also be having the same heat, like something. So if you open a very hot oven and you can see the heat just hit you, I'm also having it on my back. So anywhere I sit in my home, there's this heat coming in, and I started to have a kind of a hip pain last week. Kind of hip pain. If it's not this hip, it will be there. If it's not there, it's the back. So I'm having that energy on the chair. So I did some ordering to see, like grounding myself, and something like blankets to put something, grounding blankets to put on the chair, so that I can have some level of comfortability. And that is what I found. And this has come into the parcel that they sent to me. I felt it could be a genuine mistake. It could honestly be a genuine mistake. I'm not saying, but it's something that I've noticed over a while now, that I'm beginning to notice that sometimes it seems my parcel is being tampered with. And like one occasion, I had to send it back and quoted that it came in too late, and the other time I didn't return it on time, so I didn't deal with it on time, so it took over the time. So I just didn't use it again, and I just thought I'll just throw it in the bin, because I didn't want to give it to somebody else. If it's been tampered with, then I don't want that person to suffer. So this is what I found. So it's the same Devonshire Street that I said, Devonshire Drive, that this is meant to go, and this is the name it's meant to go to this person there. And this is it. I'll cover the name. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It sounded like I don't know. I don't want to say the name, but this is meant to go there. This is not my address, but this is meant to go here. Oh, can I use that to cover? So this is meant to go to this address. The address on mine is not the same. although it's around where I live, but it's not the same. The street is not the same to say, okay, maybe it's a small mistake from next door. It should have been gone to next door. It's the opposite side of the road, the far side of the other side of the road that this should have gone to. But this has found itself into. It's not delivered with. It's delivered inside my own parcel. So I don't know what Amazon is playing as. I've just sent them a message that they should make sure it doesn't happen again. So because it's something sinister can be added into somebody's and sending. So this is what I found, and I did open it because I didn't realize it before I opened it. I've just opened it, then I realized. I took it out. I said, well, what is this? And this is what is there. It says Old Spice. And I believe this can be bought in any shop. So I don't know. That is what is making me question that. Is this a deliberate act or something? These are Old Spice. I'm middle-aged, so maybe they're trying to tell me whatever message. I don't care what message you're trying to tell me. It has no bearing on my life. I'm so grateful to God that has made me see this day. There are people that haven't seen this day in their age. And I don't think I look too old for my age. So whoever it is, maybe from Amazon or whatever it is, your instruction, if it's done deliberately, it does not, I don't know what message you're trying to project. It does not, I'm not harming any way, but I just don't want people to think they could be sending anything into my parcel. So this was sent inside my parcel that I ordered, and I'm sure they do use electronically. So that is what is kind of making me question, is it deliberate or is this a genuine mistake? So this was meant to go to a different address, the other side of the way, not close to mine at all. If it was close, I would understand. It's the same borough, but it's not close to mine. Then I will understand that, maybe they just delivered it, or if they delivered it with my parcel, I will understand. But this was actually added into my parcel. So I don't know why they did it. I've asked them to come and pick it up, and it just features the same road that I spoke about in my last video, Devonshire Drive. So I don't know if that the message they're trying to give me, the message does not make any. It does not matter to me what message you're trying to project. If this is not, if it's a deliberate act, it does not matter. If you're trying to say I'm an Old Spice, I'm so grateful to God. I've got grandchildren. So I'm grateful. There are people that will never see their grandchildren. So I'm grateful to God. So whatever you're trying to tell me does not matter. It does not work. It's just you're trying to play silly children's prank. It does not matter. And as an adult, these are the things you overlook and just sigh. As an African mom, just what does that mean? And that's what I'm doing today. So I've asked them, I don't know if any one of you is experiencing this the latest experience. And this is today on the 5th of December that I've just opened. It came in yesterday at the opening. So I've just opened and realized this is it. So I just thought I'd share this with you. And again, it's very dangerous because people can probably intercept things and add things and try to set you up on it. Because having said that, there was a time a next door neighbor ordered something, and this is a man that don't work at all. Then this big fat parcel came to my home to say I should keep for the neighbor. I didn't, because it was the time I started realizing the targeting, and I did have my suspicion that it was part of it. So soon after that, in this thing come, and I do understand that they use that to kind of implicate people, because if you don't know what is there, somebody can just turn up and say, oh, this is this or whatever is that, and say, oh, maybe you put something there. So be careful what you pick up for your neighbors. If you're being targeted, just being careful. It's good to be a good neighbor, but if the neighbors are not good, then you need to be careful. Please be careful what you're taking. Now these days I don't collect no parcel for neighbors. Before it was, oh yes, bring it out, give them when they come around while you hand it, because you want to be a good neighbor. But these days I really don't want to collect parcel for anybody, and I do not want anybody collecting my parcel. So I don't know how this managed to get into my parcel that was sealed and sent to my address, because I think this is a very costly mistake, and that's what I wanted to share with you. So it's not going to be a long video, but some days I'm going to talk about other topics. I just thought I'd share that with you, because I thought that is it doesn't, to me, it might, like I said, it might be a genuine mistake that somebody just made a genuine mistake and put it within my own parcel and send it to my home. But also it could be something that is very unnerving that is happening there. Maybe they have asked somebody that works with them has been employed in there, and then they're using that to try to play their psychological warfare. I'm not playing psychological warfare with anybody, but what you're playing is a child is playing, sending Old Spice into my home. What's that gonna be? I have asked them, if they don't pick it up, I'll just put it outside and that's it. So I don't use Old Spice. Nobody in my home use Old Spice. I mean, I bought Old Spice for relatives before, but it's something that you can just walk in the shop. You don't need to order it from Amazon. You can walk in the shop. They sell it on the high street. So I don't know why somebody will parcel that and put it in my own parcel. Two different things, two different addresses. One is at the opposite side of the road or far end, and mine is on this side of where I live. So I don't know why that ended up in my own parcel. So I just thought I'd share it. And this is very dangerous thing to do. And I believe next time they do that, I think I'll personally probably report it to the police so that they have it documented. And that's what I'll actually do, because I don't think people should be sending. This wasn't a mistake that you add a mail to a mail. You just sent it delivered by mistake. This was inside my own parcel. So I don't want anybody ordering something contraband, something that shouldn't be ordered, and add to my own parcel. And that's why I thought I just share this experience with you. Like I said, a lot of targeting. They have opted the targeting is very severe on my head. I think they're trying desperately to give me a brain damage. They've already damaged my brain, but they're trying to either give me cancer or maybe, I don't know. I hope I haven't got cancer, but probably what's their aim. I mean, the name of the program is that sort of a thing, talk and walk you to your death. And now again, I'm still having I'm still being hounded by the social worker, mental health. They're still hounding me. They're still coming and trying to get in contact with me. They're actually, I don't know if they're liaising with social services now. They will say they try to contact me, and all that kind of lies, and people saying they tried to contact me. They didn't. I know the social worker tried to contact me, but again, I have actually asked for, because of the contacts they keep contacting me, which is a kind of conflicting statements. One person will say, "Oh, we are contacting you because you were referred by fixated threats," and the other one will say it's not fixated threat. I mean, the source of the referral varied from one person to another. When you speak to one person there is nobody telling, being transparent of exactly where the referral came from. Apart from that, there is the subject of this that if they don't hear from me, that was in September, they would discharge the case, but then they took the case back on and then start hounding me. I feel hounded. I feel hounded by these people, and I feel the overall aim is just for the psychiatrists that started this saga, because I think I have talked about it in my previous video on YouTube, and I feel he's known about it and he's heard about it, and I feel he's trying to either have his own back, use his own work as a weapon on me, because of the lies they have told before, about the letter I've written. So they're trying to use that now as a stick to say, "Oh yeah, I've got mental health problem because I've written to the Prime Minister. I did not use threatening letter." Now they're saying to me that the words I was using in the letter, like Holocaust, silent Holocaust, that is a word of somebody that is having mental health problem. I don't know where all these people went to school. I don't know. Holocaust people have written books about Holocaust. There, if you go on the internet, if you go on Amazon, you see lots of, and it's words that people use on day to day when people are suffering or suffering in silence. People have used this word. I have used that word in my letter. I've also get the inspiration from Dr. Hatton, but Dr. Hatton hasn't been declared mentally unstable or mentally that needed to be treated. So their intention, from what I gather, is that they want to get me sectioned. So the social services, mental health social services, have been trying to contact me, and in order to do the assessment, and I don't know what assessment they're trying to do. So they're now saying that it was to the referral that was made and they are obliged to follow. My argument is that if you are obliged to follow, why did you discharge me then? That means that you really didn't know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, then you wouldn't have discharged and you would have explained. But once you talk to different people at different levels, is different excuse they're giving. So it's just the hounding. And I think the ultimate aim is to have me section me, then they start pouring medication into my body, then kill me off, then or erase all memories from my head, so I don't know my head from my toe. And that is just what they're at. And these people should rise up and talk to this doctor at Fairfield Fairfield, and Charlton. Those are the two doctors, and I'm if they continue, I'm gonna name them because I feel hounded by these people. They should just leave me alone. They discharge it, then they discharge it on the 3rd of the ninth. They sent me a letter saying if they don't hear from me, they will assume that I'm not I don't want to engage, and then they will discharge me back to my GP. Then 2 weeks later, then I'm here. I'm having a mental health, female mental health, calling me and threatening me that if I don't engage, they're gonna refer my grandchild that I had the custody from this grandchild in court in 2015. They're gonna refer her back to social services, and then they actually did refer. She didn't refer immediately. It's only when she turned up here on the 4th of last month, and then they did the referral. When she was threatening me was in September, and then she did the referral. After the 4th, they came here to try to talk to me unannounced, just turn up in my home, and they expect me to open the door for them to start talking to me. And I didn't. So my husband told them to go away and don't come back, get lost. And that's what they infuriated. And then they did the referral and start hounding me since then. So I know that what they're trying to use is to weaponize their position as physician, as a doctor, as a nurse or mental health nurse, to try to punish me because I'm speaking up for against what I'm being tortured and gang stalked. So this is all about punishment, weaponizing and abusing of position and power. This is not more than that, because they're now changing this mantle as written, that indicating that if I do not cooperate, that they're going to use formal. Formal means probably they will turn up in my home unannounced anytime and break in if I don't open the door, and then move me and go and inject me for a mental health I haven't got. This man told a lie. This man falsely, and it's all known in the IT community, that psychiatrists are using their position. I think the College of Psychiatry needs to wake up to this abuse of power and the abuse of their own profession for political gain, because this is no more than that. Where you're being falsely diagnosed somebody that hasn't got, because you want them to keep quiet, because it's not something new. It's something that's been going on in Eastern Germany. It's not something new. So they've just adopted it and make it look as if it's something that is new. It's not new. They've been doing it for a long time. So this is my experience now. Now I've been having a lot of. I've asked them to. I don't want a one-to-one because I don't trust any one of them, and I do not really want to engage with them. I wanted a one. I said I do not want a one-to-one. I wanted them to get me into a mental health tribunal, because they know I don't want to engage them. They should get the mental health tribunal. Now the letter, the email I'm getting, mental health tribunal is what when people are admitted in hospital, then they can call. But I don't think so. I think it's for them. If I know that I'm not going to have a fair hearing, if I know that I'm not going to have a fair assessment, I think it's my human right to ask for an alternative. I'm not sure it's something that they can say they can't provide. So at the moment, what they're saying now is that the mental health tribunal is for people that are hospitalized. But that is what they're aiming for. That is what they're aiming for, to have me injected. And somebody was saying, I think he got into news now, that they have new treatment for mental health. So they are trying either to utilize those new injection or whatever. They're looking for guinea pigs to use it on. So if you're in their care, I mean, if it's a one-to-one assessment, is their word against mine, is what they say against mine, then they will say, oh, when we sat down there, she was agitated, she was this. If you're upset by what the whole shamble that you're seeing, and then they will take that as mental health, that you're upset about what's happened or how they've treated you. So to them, it will be mental health. So they're trying to do it by every way. It's just like what it says, walk or talk them to their death. So doing everything in their power possible to get me into a mental health institution, because I'm complaining of being gang stalked. My gang stalking started 2015. I'm a nurse by profession. I'm a diabetes nurse. I'm meant to be working in the community. I was forced to take an early retirement August this year. I actually went into the community because I was working locally because my grandchild was, there was family problem, and my grandchild was at risk. So I had to look for a job quickly to get into the community. And that's why I'm getting onto a train. I forgot my purse and all my credit card home, and I got into a train at Cannon Street, trying to get back home to see if my cards are there, my purse is there. If my purse is not there, to cancel, because in previous years somebody has tried to use my NI card to open a bank account on my name. So I thought, well, I better go back and see if it's not there. Then I call, and I got into this train at Cannon Street, and I saw, and I realized that there was nobody in the train. Then I came out of the train. I don't know who reported me. I didn't tamper with anything. I hadn't done anything before. And when I got home, I saw my purse. I came back to work with this, looking the same. I hadn't changed anything. I used to carry a small rucksack because I work in the community. You put your when you see patients, you have your phone, you have everything that you need in terms of your computer, and you carry a small I used to have a small rucksack because somebody said buy a rucksack, but it was a new job and you will need all those things. But when the office computer was given, I was even given a bigger rucksack, which I continued to carry in terms of my job until I left that area to work in central London. Of course, that is my crime in this country since I came to this country, and that's why I've been put on this program, to be slowly tortured and killed for no reason. There's no reason more than this, because they saw me there. So somebody must have assumed, but you would have thought that you would have thought that they would have searched to see that, okay, see a movement, see what it is. I'm not against it, because if you think somebody reports, it's for you to go and check to see if that person, is part is what they said it is, or it's just a silly mistake, or if it's just a mistake. But to them, I was going to New Wine Church. When they saw me, they went into the church and scandalized, told lies about people. Then those people started being part of the targeting. I see people in the church that used to target me all the way from Woolwich to Greenwich that I see them when I go to church. I see them attending the same church. So I had to leave the church in 2017. I'm going to a different church. Even this church I'm going to, they used to send people that are not the church member to come in there and start directing their energy weapon on me. Or sometimes their van, they'll use their van on in the area. The last time I went to church was 2 weeks ago, because I just sat down there. All I could feel was this burning sensation. All my clothes became damp. It wasn't wet, but my front clothes became damp. And that is what happens at home when the microwave is being used to attack me. And as I was leaving the church, the same van was also leaving the church. So I knew, and you will know them. Eventually, you get to know what this is all about. So this is the certain people that are now telling me that I've got mental health problem because I'm complaining. A lot of people too. I know I'm not the only one. A lot of people that have complained because of this targeting, because of this direct energy weapon. They're also told, if they complain, then they're also told that they've got mental health. So it's a program. It's a program that has been written, and the way it is written, they have to follow the way it's written. So this is not something that is mental health, and they're using a lot of psychiatrists, a lot of medical people to commit a crime against humanity, and that's one thing. So they are still bothering me for me to come and have the assessment. So I'm thinking they probably set up their plan. I don't think anything. If I've already seen two of them, a consultant psychiatrist and another consultant, and if they're saying you have mental health when I don't have mental health, why do I want to give myself to them for another assessment? Because they're saying fixated threat. They've already said I've got mental health problem. The woman actually said psychosis, delusional psychosis, and said to me, I was going about on the street taking picture of people. How did she know picture of innocent people that are crossing the road? How did she know they're innocent people crossing the road? People that have taken picture of are people that have seen more than once, and are people that have seen from Greenwich, where I live, into Hounslow, where I was working, peeping up at my window. And that's why I knew. And I know this particular person, the one that actually took it, I think is the handler. So that is the one that I'm homing on. I took some of them that were actually following me, but that is the main man that I showed. I didn't show the rest of them. That is the main man that I showed, that I said, this man has been following me, and I've set the instances. But yeah, the female consultants at Greenwich, she refused to believe me and said she wrote in her report I was going about taking pictures of innocent people crossing. So how did she know they were innocent people crossing the road? She wasn't there, so how did she know? Did she do any investigation to try to find out? She did it. So she sat down in her office and have an opinion that that's an innocent person. That's not innocent. And then then the other doctor that I saw did not even ask a question. Maybe a question or two, not even very related to what was happening. He did not even maintain an eye contact. He did not. He was busy trying to see as if he's writing, but he wrote nothing. And then when I finished, looking back, I think he was taping it. It took him more than a month or more than 6 weeks for him to produce a documentation, to send a documentation to say, to document what he has done. Because as not as a nurse, when the doctors finish, they have a walkie-talkie that they talk into the a kind of a recorded voice recorder that they record what they've just done and what the plan is, and send it to their secretary, and the secretary, it's uploaded and then sent to the patient. But they didn't. It took him. I went in there in August, just early August, about 11th or thereabout. And his report came out around October. That's when I had it. By September, I didn't have anything. By October, that's when I have it. So it took him almost from August, September, October, almost 2 months to write one report. And when he wrote, he staged it as if it's something that, if you read it, and for me, why I asked, where is his own assessment? Yeah, it's for him. He was meant to do an independent assessment. So where he wrote what I said, and then for him, he summarized it and made his own opinion about what it is. But where was his own assessment? Where was his own? Because for you, if you're independent, you're meant not to follow what the person have said. You're meant to do your own assessment and try to contradict what the person, find out other things that the other person did not look at. He didn't. By the end of that day, he told me pop and plain that he was going to write to support what the other doctor have written, and that was it. And I started to ask questions and challenge him on his assessment. So that is what it is now. They're trying to use the assessment of fixated threats to section me. That is what I got. The overall aim is to section me and start medicating me because they want to shut me up. So in that process, I don't think they care so much, because they always come out with some excuse. Or if I lose some part of my memory, even they're better, because I won't be able to say what is happening. So this is it. This is what they're trying to do. So I'm just documenting it. So this is my documentation. Today is the 5th of December, and that is where we are at the moment. So I've asked them to arrange a mental tribunal that I want them to do the assessment there, but they're coming back to me to say they can't do the assessment because I'm not an inpatient. But that is their overall aim. Maybe by the time they're finished, then they will say, oh, they think I've got mental health problem, and they want to, if I say I don't want any treatment, then they will force it on me. And this is all what it's about. It's not about helping anybody. It's about trying to shut people that have complained of being targeted, people that have complained of being surveillance. I'm not the only one. A lot of them are also saying the same thing. So it is the same program that people have been put in. So I just thought, I'm sorry if I'm shouting, because I'm not going to be frustrated. I understand that that's the way the program works, but I'm just going to let it be known that this is what I'm experiencing. I'm being handed, I'm being targeted. Social services, mental health social services are targeting me again. When I said I wanted a mental health tribunal, they said, oh, I will do a one-to-one, but get my manager. Manager is part of the setup. What is the manager going to be there? What difference does it make? It's still a one-to-one. A tribunal is that you have other discipline that will come there as a group and listen to what you are saying and then make a judgment. So they don't want to do that because they know they've been telling lies, and then they want to cover up, say this is not mental health. I'm being targeted. I'm being surveillance. The surveillance gang stalking was since 2015. Like I said, I got into this train and I come out and I just check in the next carriage. I didn't see anybody. It seems there was nobody there, as if it was being towed away or whatever it is. And I just came out. My understanding is that they think I was nervous. If you have lost your purse with some money in there, with your credit card, with your NI number, and somebody has tried to use your NI number to open an account before, they would have put me in a serious debt. I don't know how many people will be singing and dancing at the station there, or singing and dancing in the train. I don't know. Maybe any one of you will be doing otherwise. I don't know. They say my understanding that I was feeling nervous. I was nervous. So it was a new job. I'm trying to go to work, not to be late. I'm trying to get home to see if I've lost if I can find my purse with all my credit cards. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm meant to be dancing. Maybe, God forbid, I don't lose my purse again. Maybe next time I'll be dancing and having a party. I'm asking people if they've seen my purse. I'm being very jovial. When you've lost money, you can't find your money, you can't find your credit card, you can't find your IIN number. You don't know if somebody has taken it to open an account. And that was what was playing on my mind. Try to get home, in quick enough time to see if I can't find my purse, cancel the purse and go back to work, being too late. And I was working in Hanslow at the time. hospital diabetes. That's where I was working. And that day I was going to Turnham Green. So it's a good almost 1.5 hours journey. So it wasn't an easy journey. So I was debating if people at home that when I rang, if they took the phone, I wouldn't have come back because I would have just asked somebody to have a look for me. If my purse was there, then if my purse was there, fine. If my purse wasn't there, my intention was to call and cancel all the credit cards so that nobody can use my card to withdraw money or put me in debt. So that has put me in this position I am, that I'm being targeted, I'm being put on the to kill list and slowly kill with electromagnetic wave. Then on top of that, I'm being told that I'm mad because I'm saying, look, this is what you're doing is wrong. So I'm being told I'm mad and then trying to shut me up or actually get me injection that will kill me once and for all, because that their overall aim is to kill you. It's to kill you, basically. This is to kill program, because it does not stop. It's not something that they do a month, 2 months, 3 months and stop. It doesn't. It's until the day you can't take it anymore. Some people, and I'm hoping that nobody should say they can't take it anymore. You need to keep fighting. You need to keep putting your head up. I mean, like that day, my head was being bombarded from, as it is now, it's been bombarded from all angles. I just had to go and take some paracetamol and just take some ibuprofen and start singing to kind of comfort myself, because I need to lift myself up from that position. And this is what to find. Just excuse me, please. Yesterday, this is the one, the trio field. This is the what I've been using to find the electromagnetic wave. This is recommended. This is official. This is what you use to find it gives you all the frequency, the electromagnetic smog, it just give you all of it. And this is what I've been using, where I was told that they said people that are using this are people that is a sign of madness when you use this. Electricity, you cannot see it, you cannot touch it, but it can be measured. And this is what I use. This is what is being, a lot of targeted people are using. A lot of other ones out there that you can use. This is what I've used. From my understanding, that is this is a sign of madness, because I'm using to measure. But electricity, you cannot feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it, but you can't see it. You can touch it. If you touch it, you can die. If you high voltage, can go through your body and you're dead. So you can measure it. And this is what I've been using to measure. It hasn't failed. It hasn't lied. Yesterday it was high. When I sit at the computer, a lot is coming in from next door neighbor into my home. And this is it. And the other one is the one to indicate an attack on you. That is the one I've been using. And that is it is recommended by Dr. Hatton. He's there on a lot of electronic shops, that are doing this radio wave and the rest of it. And this is it. That is what I use. You can see the light. You can see the spike. You can see the spike. That is on my head now. It's on my head on this part. And my head is really hot now. You can see. I didn't create this. That is what I've been using. You can see the spike. You can see the spike. You can see the spike. Yeah, and I can feel it on my head. On last week Thursday, it was at the top there. It kept going up and down. Last week Thursday, yeah, you can see the spike. Last week Thursday, it was there. It was going on top there, the last button there, and it was relentless. It was ongoing attack. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's on my head. Yeah. 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 That's it. I didn't create this. It was created by expert. Yeah. That's it. That's it. That's it. And so hear the frequency changing. See? That's it. That's it. That's it. That's on my body. That's it. That's it. That's it. On my legs too. My legs. That's it. So this doctor in Greenwich, that's what he's telling. He's telling people that this is a sign of madness. You can see this spike. You can see this spike. You can see this spike. Some days, even with this cap, I had to put tin foil on it. You can see my eye. You can see my eye because eventually my face becomes very hot. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the spike. Okay. That's it. I just thought I'd share this with you. Please keep your chin up. Be strong. Be positive. I had to take sometimes when I use the ice pack on my head because I put it in a bottle and I put it in the freezer to freeze up, and I place it on my head. Then they will hit through the probably implants that I have, and instead of cooling the head, actually makes it worse because they keep hitting it just from inside and out. So I could actually be feeling something hitting the bottle on my head, and then from inside also kind of sparking it up from inside that it's not relieving. So I had to leave that. That was used to help me before. I had to leave that. So I'm not placing ice on my head before now. But that part of my head there, the patch there around there, is solid. And you can actually, when you feel my head, you can feel it's like rigid. It's like you actually feel things embedded in my skull. That is what is there, and you can see the difference between this eye there and this one there. So this one, the aiming, all that part just got swollen. Like I said, this part too. You see this thing coming from there. If I become closer, you can see this. You can see it start from the forehead, and sometimes it will start from there. This will just heat up on my. It will kind of become very tight, and then you start feeling the heat all over my body, and that's what. So you can see that it's swollen. You can see that part. You can see that part. You can see that part. And it seems somebody is in my attic. I could feel some movement up there in the attic. And then I think, I don't know if they've put something there, but I know that there's a lot of movement there. Even around 3 o'clock this morning, I could still feel movement there in the attic. So I do understand that they do go to people's attic and connect electricity into my electricity so that they will have a direct target. And I've said about my tummy, if I lie down because I'm sitting on a chair, I'm more likely to incline. So I will feel this energy in my tummy until it starts burning, then I'll get up. And sometimes when I sit at my computer, I feel burning on my nose here. I feel burning on my mouth. And sometimes about 2 days ago, I felt maybe something like maybe an acid, something like that, because it wasn't the heat alone. It was the burning sensation on my nose. I had to get up and wash my face, wash my nose. It was burning, and it did smell something like an acid. So I don't know, but it was coming from next door neighbor. And apart from next door neighbor, it's also coming from, it seems up from the ceiling. And no matter where I sit down, there's this thing like water that will come through, water, and it will go on the like rain. It will go on the what's it called, on the tin foil that I have. It will go on it, and you can actually, if you cover with the tin foil and stay till, you can actually see the dots, the thing dropping on the tin foil, putting indentation. You can actually see it forming the indentation on you, and it does sting. It does sting, burns and sting at the same time. So I just thought I'd share this with you. I'm sorry if I look a little bit upset. It's just that I don't know that human beings are capable, especially in this country, that they're capable of doing. I'm still very in shock. I don't understand what's going on, but I'm still very in shock. If somebody had told me that, in America, we all know America was built on human blood, on suffering, on whatever they were, taking another person's land and try to, kill off the indigents. So it was based on blood. And if we can see, so I'm not judging them, but if you can see what's happening now, even their children have taken out arms to kill one another because of the blood. That's how the country was built. So, but for here, I'm still in shock that people, they come across, don't misquote me, please. I have lived here for over 30 years. It has been generally good. I have no cause to, I have no cause for alarm. All the neighbors I've lived with, they haven't been trouble. I've not been trouble to anybody. They've been nice people. So, um, even before now, I started living in where I'm living since 2004. 2004, I moved here January 2004. This is 2000. I've never had any problem with anybody. I've never quarreled with anybody. During Christmas, we all exchange, cards with one another, and some of them that are, that some people maybe you stand and talk more than others. Then you send them small presents, and they do the same thing, or sometimes they don't do it. It doesn't matter. But from that to this, that the next two next door neighbors, the one across the road, those ones that I'm not even used to, they're all into this. I know it's not their fault. They've been told a false narrative, but they have believed it, and they haven't said, well, I've lived with this woman for so long. She hasn't caused me trouble. But then, haven't said that they are being paid, So if money is a good, is the root of all evil. So if they're paid to do this, they get involved, or I don't know. In some aspects, according to research, they say that some of them have been threatened, especially if they've had criminal records. They have been threatened to take part. So again, some of them could be that have got skeleton in their cupboard. Maybe they've taken up just because of that. But I know some of them are like the foreigner, like the foreigner that is living with me too. That he also came. But I've been to this country donkey years before he came. I think that's his job. It's his job. He left his home to come to this country to kill people. That's it. That's his. He is a paid job. So for the other neighbors, maybe I could forgive them, because I mean, some of them, they have been coerced into doing this. You could see from their perspective where they're coming. But when it's their job, when it is a job, that you're earning a living through human suffering, through human that you're participating in, I don't know. I don't know how you could forgive that person, but I'm asking God to give me the grace. But again, God is a God of justice. I'm also asking for justice. So my prayer is that if I've contributed to any human suffering in terms of, if that day I was going, if it was to go and do harm, whatever they do to me in this life, in the next, let them, I bless them. I bless their children. I let them go free. They are not guilty of anything. But if I was going to my job, if I forgot my purse, I'm trying to go home to see if my purse and my credit card were there. The reason I went to even community, I've been working in hospital for so many years, was because of something that happened in my family that I had to be the rescuer. I'm not praising myself, but I just felt it's the right thing to do. And many people in my situation probably would have done the same thing. Then from there, then to be listed and as somebody that wanted to cause harm to anybody, listed to be killed, slowly killed. Use and discard. Use for experiments and then kill off for no reason. It's still beyond me. It's still, I didn't know somebody in this country was capable of doing that. When people are talking, they always talk about the third world country or developed countries that they have no sense of human rights. They abuse you, but it is happening undetected in this country, and because it's acting, so they are employing people, which is even worse than the third world country, because third world country, if you know what you get, it is written. But here it is unwritten thing. People, then when you open your mouth, then you're put into mental home, are actually killed, or being put permanently to be slowly killed. So which is worse. So it's still going on here, and I think it is pretentious, and that is the thing that is so sickening in this part. It is pretentious. People that are meant to be helping are not helping, and then no matter what you say, somebody is killing you slowly, and you're saying, I haven't done anything. You look at the facts, you look at me, you haven't questioned me. Oh yes, you are. Or it just brings us back to, we haven't really advanced since 1692, where people were being hanged for because somebody pointed their finger and say, oh, that's the person which wanted me. We haven't moved on. And again, haven't said that, I'm not gloating, but if you know what has happened in the last week, where this man that was convicted of trying to blow up the stock exchange, and was let out and said it was good, let out with a tag on the leg, and then it turned out to be it wasn't a good decision. So where were these people then? I mean, it was meant to be. These people were meant to be the people that reduce this threat. So where were they? It's just, I'm still questioning, because it just leaves one to wonder. And this is not the first time. This is not the first time it's been happening. So the question should be asked: these people that were meant to be dealing with this sort of people, where were they? Because I like to know to myself, somebody that is being convicted, somebody that they knew they had a plan, they know they had a plan, they caught them with a plan, then being that the sentences they were meant to have been cut short and let loose in the community, and the innocent people going about their business have been handed to death. So it just makes you wonder. They must be laughing at us. They must be laughing as a Christian nation. They must be. They are laughing. Anyway, I'll take it for now. Stop for now. Be strong, please. Be strong. Since last week, it's been horrible. It's just all over my body, electricity, but the one in the head was non-stop. It was coming from the satellite. It was coming from packed vans. It was coming from drone. It was relentless throughout. This eye now is even clear. My eyes was red. My face was hot. I kept having to go and wash my face. It got to a point that I had to go and take a cold towel and just put it on my face, just to be able to have some relief. And I had to start taking paracetamol and ibuprofen. And that the head one and the face one is different from the body over body one. And then sometimes you sit down, you just feel a cold whiplash on your body. So those were different. It's just different. And the night one, not being able to sleep at night because of the targeting. You could see my eye. This is it. It's swollen up. You could see there. Anyway, please just be strong. Be strong and keep moving. There's nothing. You just have to get your evidence as much as you can and follow suit and see what can be done about this. And I'm hoping, God, with all our prayers, that this program will be shut down in the soonest day, not in a far distance. So I'm hoping that in the soonest future that this program, because a lot of people are suffering, and children, according to my research, children are also being implanted and targeted. So you just leave one to wonder. This is a first-class country. This is a first-class country. This shouldn't be happening here. I thank you for listening to me. My name is Grace Udoh-Williams. I'm a targeted person living in London. And this is my experience in the last more than a week. Thank you very much for listening to me. Good afternoon. Bye.